I'm with Gadi Gvaryahu from Tag Meir. Now, Gadi, what is Tag Meir?
Tag Meir is a coalition of almost 50 organizations from all over the Israeli spectrum. We have all kind of Jews and not Jews, Muslims and Arabs that fight together against racism, hate crime, terror attack, price tag attack, anything, incitement, together.
What does Tag Meir mean in Hebrew?
In Hebrew, it sounds like in Hebrew it's Tag Meir, bright light, or instead of price tag with the people that talking about revenge and bring darkness, we want to bring light.
Now I've heard quite a lot about price tag. What exactly is price tag?
Price tag is actually revenge. By the first time we heard about this term was in 2009 when right-wing terrorist Jews burned a mosque in the territories in Samaria, a village called Yasuf. And they burned a mosque and wrote on the wall, Tag Meir, price tag. So you, Palestinian, paid the price for something that happened to you by terror attack that you create against us. Also, if the army did something to us, the government, you also paid the price for that.
Is there a lot of hate and violence in the community at the moment?
We're here in Israel all the time. All the time, unfortunately. Just yesterday and today, look what's going on. A lot of hates and violence to settlers were killed in Khawara, which is a village in the West Bank, in Samaria. And as a result of that, a lot of violence by terrorist Jews this time. They attack Khawara, burn houses, cars, and also killed innocent Palestinians.
So it's violence on both sides?
It's all the time violence by both sides, but this is, we have a country, we have a state, we were supposed to have an army and police to protect both Jews and Palestinians. And unfortunately, what happened last night and today is that the army and the police and the security forces didn't do their job.
What sort of programs do you do to help to combat hatred?
The main thing that we are doing are solidarity visit. We try to be with the victims as soon as possible and not just one day visit, it's a long-term support. After the murder of the Dawabshe family, for instance, we went to visit them and gave support to the Dawabshe family, long-term support also to the Abu Khdir family, Yaqub Arabi. We have many examples. We're going to visit, of course, Jews that were killed. We don't distinguish between the victims and those that create the crimes. But to visit your friend or someone that your neighbor that was a victim is not the same. The idea is to go to someone that is not your friend, is a Palestinian. And when a Palestinian will come to us and we will come to the Palestinian, maybe that will be the end of the conflict.
Must be very difficult going into someone's house and family who've just lost someone through terror.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we started our forum 11 years ago in 2011, and this is what we are doing. And we try to use this horrible event in order to create strong connections between Palestinian and Israelis, between Muslim and Jews and Christians. Don't forget they attack also churches and monasteries. Yeah, very hard, but very important.
Is your organization full of volunteers, and what sort of people volunteer in your organization?
Yeah, we have like 500 volunteers all over the country, many WhatsApp groups, and whenever something happens in the north, we have Tag Meir North. So the people in the north will go visit, or in the south, or Tel Aviv area, Jerusalem area. It's a small country, but still, if something happens Friday afternoon, you want people to be there as soon as possible. So you send people from the north, around 500 volunteers.
Are these all Muslims, Christians and Jews?
All over, all kind. We also have Palestinian volunteers and all over, from all the spectrum, like I mentioned before. And even yesterday, we have people in Hawara that we came to visit them. They were victims a few years ago, and now they became volunteers. So they send us pictures and talk to us and talk to the media. Very important.
So you have Palestinians and Jews working together?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have Palestinians and Jews and Christians and Muslims and all working together.
That must be really exciting to see that, is it?
Yeah. Most of the Palestinian and Jews between the river and the sea, Mediterranean Sea, most of them want peace. No one wants to be a victim, to be without a house or without a car or without a family. So it's very basic. And so I'm not surprised, but yes, working together.
Tell us a bit about the flower distribution that you do.
Flowers is, it's very simple to buy flowers. Everyone can buy flowers. They're very nice and cheap, and you use flowers a lot. Whenever someone sits in a hospital, a bus driver can be our bus driver. That the people on the bus didn't like the idea that they have our bus driver, so they started to hit him, curse him. And he found himself in a hospital, so we will come visit him with flowers or with chocolate. But on Jerusalem Day, which is a day that many Israelis from the religious Zionist sector march with Israeli flags, we decided to march with flowers of peace. We have a label on each flower of peace in Arab, in English, and Hebrew, and we spread them all over. You have to remember that 40% of the people that live in Jerusalem don't celebrate this day. It's not a happy day for them.
Can you stop this hate and this violence?
Yes. I mean, it's a marathon race. It's not a 100-meter race. You need a long time, you need a vision, and not to give up. There are bad days like today and yesterday. But like I told you before, most of the people want to live in peace and quiet. And look what's going on in hospitals in Israel. 30-40% of the people that work in hospitals are Muslims. And they work together. And you enter the hospital and you see all kind of people. And you don't see knives and you don't see bombs. And beautiful harmony. So if it can happen in hospitals, it can happen all over the country.
Do you lobby the Knesset?
Yeah, and unfortunately in the last few years we didn't have so much Knesset. We had every 6 months we have another election. But yes.
I know you've been recognized with awards. Tell us about some of the awards that you've won.
Oh, awards. Awards are not so important. We are not working for awards. But we had a few nice awards that we appreciate.
It's nice just to be recognized, though, is it?
Yeah. We appreciate the awards and the recognition, but the best recognition and words are just to see, like you mentioned, Palestinians and Israelis working together for peace. That's the most important award. That's the award.
Do you do cleanup after a hate crime has happened? Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, usually the authorities are doing that immediately because they don't like to see any graffiti on the wall. But if something happened, we have a few cases that we came clean. Cemeteries, we offer help. Sometimes they use our help. Sometimes they can do it by themselves.
Are you optimistic about the future?
Yeah, we are optimistic. I think that there are many countries that were, if someone would tell you in 1973 that Egypt and Israel one day will sign a peace agreement, you would send him to a nuts house, 73. And the same with Jordan and Israel. Even with the Palestinian, just recently, until recently, with the security forces of Palestinian and Israeli army were coordinate and work together. So it's a process. And we don't have the privilege of giving up.
What is your hope for the future?
That everyone will sit like you and me in a coffee shop in Jerusalem, drink nice coffee, and like nothing happened yesterday in Hawara and Hawara and the killing of each other will never happen.
What's your Facebook page for people who'd like to know more about the work that you do?
Tag Meir, Tagmeir.
Okay, Gadi, thank you very much.
Thank you.